All right. We back with another edition of the ATL 3-Style Podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Leo G. Doing it big tonight. As y'all can see, got some special guests in the building, man. So y'all know how we gonna do it, man. But before we get too far off into the show, man, gotta pass it off to my co-host. They'll hold it down over there to the east, man. The dude has been gone for the longest time. We don't know where this dude been. Me and Banks been like, we gonna have to send a search party out. But that dude Derrick over there, man, in the building. What's going on, Derrick?
What's going on, Leo G? What's going on, Baby Banks? And welcome back, my man, Reggie.
Yeah, man, we got our boy Reggie on tonight, so you know what time it is. We'll get to him in just a second, man. I got to pass it over there to that boy down on the south side, man. Look at that boy. That boy Banks look well rested. Look like he got some sleep and everything. Boy, that boy, look at him. Look at Banks.
What's up, Leo G? What's going on, Derrick Cole? And Reggie, what's going on, brother?
Man, y'all know what it is, man. And without further ado, man, the champion's here. Y'all heard it. That's right, man. The man, the myth, the legend. My man Reg over there. He's with us tonight. So you know what time it is, man. We're going to get into a little footy talk, soccer talk, man. My man from Footy Mob FC, the grand champion of a man. He got so many. I can't, I'm gonna stop, man. My man Reggie McKee over there, man. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, fellas? Always great to be on. Appreciate it.
Hey, man, absolutely, Reg. We appreciate you coming on, man, to talk a little soccer talk with us tonight, man, and break some things down for us, man, and let everybody know what's going on in the world of soccer, man. So we're always excited to have you, man. Derrick, man, before we get this thing started off, man, let everybody know how they can holler at our boy Phil out there, man, because we still represent him, man.
What up, Phil? Y'all hit my boy up, Eastland Woodworking Company, Phil Johnson, doing everything that you need on that wood tip. Did that sound right? It might not come out right. Hey, that's how we do over here, baby boy. We tell you how TI is, so y'all make sure y'all hit our man up, Phil, and he'll take care of you.
Man, absolutely, man. Hit him up, man, for some of that work he got going on, man. We'll put the QR code back up here momentarily, man, towards the end of the show. You never know, man. We also might have some other special surprises and stuff going on today, man, for today's show. But it's going to be all about soccer, man. We might slide a few more tidbits in there about some other ATL breaking news in sports today. But we're bringing it to you from a fan's perspective, definitely, and we're going to talk some soccer, so let's just get on into it. Listen, fellas, so officially we are 104 days away from the World Cup hitting the North American soil. I don't know about you guys, man, but, anticipation is rising, especially being that we are in Atlanta, one of the host cities. Reg, I know you've been following this for quite some time, man, so it is now upon us, man. It is right at basically our doorstep, man. We see all the changes that are being made and rolled out, man, to welcome the whole world into the city. 104 days out, Reg, man. How pumped are you to see this thing go down on North American soil?
Man, I think I'll put it to you like this. I was real pumped this time last year. Now I'm kind of it'll probably ease in. I'll probably ease into it probably about May, probably like a month or two before, because I just want to see how things are going to come together with all the mess that's happening right now politically. But I remember '96, and I know y'all was here in '96 when we had the Olympics. And dude, that anticipation, it was on a whole nother level. I'm not seeing that yet. I think around April or May, I think you're really gonna start seeing that. So I just want Atlanta. I mean, other cities, that's fine, but I want the ATL to do what the ATL does. So I'm looking forward to see how we pull that off.
Man, absolutely, man. Atlanta gonna represent, man. There's no place like the A. So for all the people that'll be visiting here for pool play, and also one of it's the semi, right, Reg? It's not a quarter, it's a semi, right? Going into
the
championship
semi.
game. So we get a semi, man. So everybody coming in for pool play and the semi, man, y'all will get a chance to see how we do it here in the ATL, man. Piggybacking on that, man, over to Derrick, man. I know you're kind of excited. Like Reggie just said, man, 96 was something special here with the Olympics. I know that was very, very dear to you, man, in 96, man. Just give us your thoughts and your feelings, man, going into the World Cup here, man, coming up here. Like I said, we're about 104 days out. Let us know, man, how you feel about it, brother.
Hey, I'm like Reggie. It has been a little quiet but I don't know if that has to do with the climate of the world right now. It probably does. But looking forward to what's going to happen leading up to the World Cup. Hopefully, it's still going to be, safe for folks to come around and check out the great city of the A and the T and the L. So hopefully, the prices go down too on the World Cup tickets. I think they keep pushing these hospitality packages. They need to go ahead and try to release some of them single game tickets so the stadium won't be empty. So I'm just hoping that at some point that becomes a little more affordable, especially for us local folks who would love to come out and support the World Cup inside the stadium.
Man, absolutely, man. The tickets are always one of the biggest things. And I mean, that's been one of the talking points, man. Tickets aren't moving as fast as a lot of people thought they were. Because them prices are up, man. As we already know, man, economy crazy out here right now, man. Ain't nobody trying to spend all that, man, to sit up there and work the lights over there in Mercedes-Benz. But listen, the atmosphere is going to be wild, crazy. Got some great teams that are going to be here, man. Reds, I'm going to get you to talk about one of them here in just a second. I got to ask my man Banks, man. Banks, how excited are you, man, for this World Cup to be here, man, and in this city, especially you being the jack of all trades when it comes to sports? Obviously, you were here in 96 as well. You got to see the Olympics. So how excited are you to see the World Cup here, man, coming up? Banks, maybe he's not excited. I don't know. So I'm going on. We'll get back with Banksy in just a second, man. Listen, Reggie, man. He got something going on. We'll bring him back here in just a second, man, when he get all that worked out, man. But listen, Reg, let me ask you this, man. We got if people don't know, I mean, we got, I think Spain is gonna be here, if I'm not mistaken, right? The boys from Spain are gonna be here, man. One of the top premier teams in the world. But this is the team that I really want to talk about, man, and I'm excited about, man. I'm excited about it. You know who I'm excited about, man. That team from over there. That team from over there. You know what I'm talking about. The Cape Verdeans. They're going to be here. They're going to be here. They're going to be here. Tell them, let them know. If they didn't know, let them know.
I ain't going to say nothing about it. Look. All I say is this. It's going to be off the chain. I'll stop right there. I'm looking forward to South Africa, but I hear what you say about Cape Verde, because you know what? You're talking about underdogs. Ain't nobody ready for them.
Man, listen, they not, man. It should be, like we were just looking for a good little draw, man. We ended up getting, like I said, Spain, Reggie. I'm not right off the rip, man. I don't know the other two squads that actually be here for pool play. You said, was it, what were the other two squads that be here as well?
South Africa. I haven't really been keeping up to see who else is going to be in it, because I know there's a playoff that's happening right now. But I just really want to see South Africa. I'm a big fan of the way they play. They got the way they play is something that they call Kasi flavor. And it's just, in other words, you think about the rucker with basketball and the tricks and some of the things they do. Or if you saw and one back in the day, South Africa and Angola have a way of playing that's like that. They do a lot of tricks, do a lot of stuff. They got a lot of skill, and people probably ain't ready for that. So I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt, man. So maybe we can get in the building. I don't know, man. I have to holler at Derek. He knows some tricks, man. He might be able to get us up in the building for one of them games, man. We got to see what Derek can do to get us up in there, man. We gonna see, Derek. How about that?
Hey, man, that's the thing I love about our city, baby. As long as you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, sometimes you can, squeeze in some things. And, once it get closer, I start, tapping into those resources, because I love our motto. Say we are a Christ-centered church that helps the surrounding community. So anybody that is in and connected with us can help us. And that's us.
Amen,
oh man, absolutely, man. Hey, amen. Yes, sir. Banks, did we get our man Banks back on, man? He was having some technical difficulties, man. Banks, your thoughts on the World Cup?
I apologize, fellas. My screen went black. I heard you, but I didn't see you, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know. But yes, I do have something. I remember back when you said, guys, back in 96 when the Olympics were here. I don't want to say what my age was, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. And y'all be quiet. I was 16, and we was down at Centennial Park the day before the bombing, and was standing at the same spot that the bombing happened, me and my mom. And ever since, we talk about the Olympics, we always go back to that day, because we were 24 hours removed from tragedy. But anyway, I don't want to, put a damper on it. But yes, I feel like the city is ready. I am ready for it. I'm looking forward to Atlanta that's 24 hours and just always live for those that stretch window, and see the whole entire world come into our city, and it's I don't know. Every city can't say that. Every city can't say, everyone's just, this is a meeting point, you know, every walks of life, every culture is coming here, and I'm excited for it. People at my job that's not from here, I have a couple of guys from Haiti, keep asking me, do you get tickets since you're a season ticket holder for the Falcons? I'm like, no, I don't. But I see why you would think that, because I go to the game every Sunday. But he thinking that since I got tickets, I can get the hookup or something. So he asks me all the time, like, how I get in the building? Brother, your guess is good as mine, because getting to that place and during that time, it's going to be a sight to see.
I mean, absolutely, man. Like I said, man, World Cup, man, it's on its way, man. So we'll definitely be talking about it probably a lot more as it gets closer and closer. As, like I said, the city is doing a lot of things to get ready. And speaking of which, listen, I told y'all sometimes, we get people to just pop up and join the neighborhood with us, man. ATL 3-Star. Y'all know how we do, man. So I got to give a shout out to our boy, man, Rocks, that just jumped in to join us tonight, all the way from the snowy NYC, man. What up, Rocks?
We here, baby. It's cold as I don't know what. I ain't gonna come on the pod cussing out the gate, but it's cold.
Hey, man, listen, we were just talking about y'all up there, man. We know y'all got like a buttload of snow. We always, we get a little pooped on, man. When we get snow here in the South, man, a lot of y'all Northerners talk about, oh man, ain't nothing but nothing. But we seeing y'all getting dumped on up there, and y'all little stuck in the house and can't get no bread and milk up there.
Yeah, man. We had a big snow a few weeks ago, and it was bad. And then I don't know, for whatever reason, the cities knew it was coming but didn't prepare. And so it was like a big time mess. A whole bunch of concerts was canceled. Everything that was supposed to be scheduled in like the week after that did not happen. So this time around, we got all types of notifications, all type of preparation, and it's still bad, man. Like I had to go out. I didn't go out to work yesterday, but I went out today, and I was like, I thought we were scot-free, but nope.
Yeah, man, look like it's forecasted for a couple more days, so y'all can, hunker down and bunker down. Hey, listen, Ross, before you jumped on, man, we were just talking a little bit about the World Cup, man. Obviously, we're about 104 days out. Obviously, we're talking about it from a perspective here in Atlanta and fans and how big it is, man. Because, of course, we were here in Atlanta in 96 when the Olympics was here. Obviously, they're going to be in New York where you are as well, man. How pumped are you about seeing the World Cup? Obviously, there's a lot of political things going on right now, but just to see it on U.S. soil, man, and up there in New York, man, how are you feeling about the World Cup here coming up?
You got to ask me that question more specifically. You got to ask me how I felt before I saw the ticket prices and after.
Sounds like a common theme about these prices on these tickets.
Man, before I saw the prices, I was hyped. I was like, I'm prepared to go into absurd amounts of debt to be at this game, and then
Yeah, man, we talking about like, firstborn, mortgaging, like everything. I'm like, yeah, man, this is insane, man. Maybe like I said, as it gets closer and closer, like we were talking about earlier, Rocks, man, they can just say, hey, you know what, man, we're not gonna fill this thing up, man. We need to figure this out, man. I don't know. We might like like Derrico Banks, if we just go stand at the gate, man, you know what I'm saying, right before kick it, they see that thing ain't filled up. Hey, man, we need y'all to come on up in here, man, and fill up some seats, man, because we don't want it to look too bad, man. So, yeah, man. Culturally, man, we ready for it here in Atlanta, like we were talking about, Rocks, with the fellas, man. Atlanta is no place like none other. Of course, you like to come down here and kick it with us from time to time, man. So we're going to show the world what's up, man, just like we did in 96 for the Olympics. So we're going to be ready, man. Like I said, we'll be talking about it more and more as it gets close. So, listen, fellas, the reason I brought y'all here is to talk a little MLS, because the MLS is back. MLS is back, man. We just had opening weekend, man. We'll talk a little bit about everything that went on, a couple of key games. Of course, obviously, we'll get into it about Atlanta United. But one of the things I want to talk about before we talk about opening weekend is what the MLS is going to be doing here after this season. Reg, I wanted you to give some perspective on this. So the MLS is now going to move to a more international friendly schedule to align with FIFA going into 2027, 2028. That means that the actual season will now start in July and it will roll over into May. So this is going to have a lot of implications when it comes to us with sports here in the U.S. Reg, give us some perspective as to how this is going to actually work, because as international soccer followers like we are, we already see this particular season and how it is with international. But how is this going to help the MLS moving to this international schedule now and aligning with everybody else in FIFA?
It's going to help primarily. It's going to help them align with the transfer window. So typically, they got two transfer windows, one in January, and then of course one in the summer. And a lot of times, traditionally when MLS would get somebody from another country, whether it was like we got Latte Live from Championship when he came from Middlesbrough, or you get somebody from Argentina, wherever, a lot of times, they'll come in the middle of our season, right? And what people don't realize a lot of times is by the end of the MLS season, they're beat up because they've been playing sometimes for over a year, continuously every week. So it beats you up. They haven't had a real off season. On top of that, MLS is not there yet where we can put our names in the hat for players like, Raheem Sterling. He was for a minute, he was available, but MLS isn't there yet where they can kind of throw their name in the hat, but at least we'll be on the schedule. And that helps a lot. It helps us align with getting better players, even if we get them from Championship, even if we get them from the second division of La Liga or something. It's a lot easier to get, especially young, hungry players, get them over here to prove themselves so that they can go back to Europe. So I like it primarily because of that, and also because they've done all the numbers, they've done the stats and whatnot, and they found that there's not as much overlap as people would think with the NBA, with the NFL. There will be some overlap in terms of fans kind of torn as to where they want to go, where they will or won't go. But I think they no longer are afraid of losing fans or competing with the other leagues.
Yeah, man, it'll be a challenge, I think, initially, man, but we'll have to figure out a way to, jump around like we have been. Like you said, there has been some overlap, MLB, college football, NBA, just a lot. I don't know if people going to be like overly stimulated, but hey, we're going to see how this works. Rocks, man, I'm going to give it over to you, man. MLS going and transitioning to that more traditional schedule, going from July over into the spring 2027, 2028, man. Your perspective on that, man, and how this can be beneficial to the league.
Super helpful for the league. I feel like the league is at a point now where to really get more into the global conversation, they have to start competing in the transfer windows, as Reggie was saying. And we can absolutely do that. One of the things that is kind of slept on, you would have to like really be super studious about the business of soccer to know this. But I have a friend who's an NYCFC fan, but he's also a financial planner for some of the players. And I had a conversation with him and he kind of broke down like, as far as the business of soccer, people want to be in MLS. You have so many tax benefits being here in the United States, and coming here, the cities, there's so many other opportunities to monetize on their names and their play. So that's just something that they don't really get anywhere else in the world. And he said, this is something I didn't even know. I would have never, ever considered. He was like, bro, you would be surprised how many leagues aren't paying their players on time. How many teams aren't paying their players on time. He was like, in MLS, never happens, never, ever late in the history of the league. If you're due whatever amount on this date, you will have that money. You know what I mean? So it's stuff like that where like we wouldn't know as fans, but the players seeing that, understanding that, having the right conversations with people who can explain these benefits to them, we are absolutely in the conversation and people want to come here. We got Son here now. We got Messi here now. And we can even go back over the history of players that have been here. Now it's like, all right, do you really want to go to Saudi? Yeah, they'll pay you through the nose, but you're not going to get much else other than the money. Or you can go to MLS where you're going to have a great you're going to have all these marketing companies coming to you trying to get you to sell product. You can make money there. You can, travel easier. It's easier for you to get to South America from there. Like, there's a bunch of different things that makes it a way more attractive option than just about anywhere else.
Man, yes, man. I think that it's going. I think it's going to be a little shock, especially for the casual fan. Obviously, to try to kind of follow, like I said, with it being so much competition here in the States. But like you just said, you put a lot of things in perspective from a player perspective, like getting some of the top tier talent over from Europe and, courting them instead of them going over to Saudi. Like you said, man, the Saudis have been able to court some great players because they got all the money. But, we have a lot of benefits and we have a lot of different things that we could throw, like you just said, rocks to these players and let them come over here and compete with some of the greater leagues in the world, man. Derek, I'm going to give it over to you, man. I know this is going to be like a juggle for you, like most of us fans, as far as like trying to keep up with everything when this transition happens. But tell me, Derek, man, listening to Reg and Rocks talk about the benefits of this move, man, how do you feel now about watching this unfold here coming up next season?
Well, how they explain it, yes, it will benefit the league and the players and also some of the fans. Sometimes I can be selfish and, selfishly, I don't like it because selfishly it interrupts my flow of, separating NFL, college, NBA from MLS. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be real transparent about that. The MLS was like a perfect fit for my schedule of sports. I mean, it just led me right after football season, right into baseball season, right into the summer. And then once the football season started, bam. But it's just interesting hearing what Rocks was saying about the benefits as far as financially for the players, as far as them being able to market themselves, the league trying to expand, all these things. And like Reggie was saying, it's not really a competition between the other sports. It's just getting in where you fit in. So that's something that, that I will reconsider as far as being one of those casual fans, but a fan of soccer. So that's something that definitely helps me, as far as my knowledge of watching the game, understanding the ifs, the whats, and the whys of why this happened. So I'm actually excited for it, and I want to see how it's going to work.
Yeah, what up, Rocks, man? And then we'll pass over to Banks, man, now that Banks has some perspective as well.
Yeah, man, I had one other thing to add, too, because he was talking about scheduling, and I didn't even think about that in the moment. That's the other benefit is now with USL doing their D1 status, and they're competing now as well, we are now separated again. So USL, you go ahead, you keep that market. It actually works out for both parties. You keep that market, you go do what you want to do in that old window. We in the new, global window. We'll be over here doing our thing, constantly elevating. And now you got to play catch up again before you even get started. It's kind of crazy.
Man, absolutely, man. Banks, now that you have some perspective, because I'm kind of with Derek, man, a little selfish thinking on the part of me, even though I'm all in when it comes to soccer, it just had me in the mind frame of, man, I'm going to have a lot to keep up with, obviously, man, but we'll figure out how to juggle this thing, man, and move some stuff around. But now that you got some perspective on how this will actually benefit the league and how it could actually bring in top tier talent, how do you feel about this move now going into 2027, 2028?
Well, going back to how Reggie and Rocks had explained it, yes, it's very beneficial for the league, and for the long run, I think that would prove to grow into the league that with the big heavy hitters. Jericho stole all my thunder. For me, yeah, I was looking at it as what am I going to do going into college football, NFL, basketball, hockey? It's going to be sports overload for me, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do it. But I figure it out. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's just another thing I have to watch going into the fall. But at least I know before then I will have the beginnings part of the season since it started in July. So it's just gonna be straight baseball, I guess, until July. So it's just all about adjustment, Leo. It's no big deal. I feel like with the long run with the league, I think it's beneficial. And for my little selfish way, who am I? So yeah, do what you got to do.
And I think, man, let's make no mistake about it. I think the powers that be understand the undertaking and what it's going to take. Obviously, you know what I'm saying, to kind of appease the masses. You're going to have the diehards that are going to be locked in. But listen, the NBA and the NFL, these are guys, they on speed dial, man. So they talk to one another, and I'm pretty sure the MLS is going to be right there saying, hey, how can we slide this in? And how can we be, I'm pretty sure that they're probably going to be more weeknight games that I think that the MLS could probably find a way to find, some market and steal some thunder there. Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, they can slide in under the radar, man, and give us something to watch. So I'm pretty sure, man, they're working that all out logistically, man.
Friday
we'll see how
nights.
that all works out. Friday nights, yeah, man. So you got some opportunities, man. So like you said, man, it's going to be exciting to see, man. And I'm hoping moving forward that the MLS will be able, like Rock said, man, to be able to court a lot of people over here based upon, the windows, obviously, for transfers, and then also the money situation as well, man. It'll make it a lot more tangible for people to come over here, man. So good, great perspective from you guys, Reggie and Rocks, on how this is going to work out, man. So listen, let's get into MLS's back, man, this past weekend as we talk about some of the games here. Rocks, I'm going to give you a little bit of thunder here, man, before we, of course, dive in to the home team, man. Obviously, man, your boys, NYCFC, they took on the LA Galaxy. Got a 1-1 draw, man. Your perspective on your home team, man.
It's tough to say. Like it's in the beginning, I want to say all the way through Dome Tarrant as head coach, I was like A1 on my team. I knew who we were going to whoop. I knew every trap game we was going to lose. Current team, last 3 years, I can't tell what we're going to do, man. Like, the first 15 minutes of that game, it looked like we had no business being on the field with the Galaxy. And then after the first 15 minutes, it looked like they had no business being on the pitch with us. We get the penalty, we draw the game, don't get much after that. I don't know what to expect out of this team. The floor last year is Eastern Conference Final. And I don't even know how we got there last year, right? Because we were not, like, on paper, we were not competing with the top teams in the East or the West. And yet and still, we ended up playing Inter Miami in the Eastern Conference Final. So this season, you have to improve upon that to have a better season, right? But again, we're coming into the season for probably we've been 11 years now. This is probably the 8th of 11 years where we don't have a bona fide striker. And it's like, what the hell? Now, granted, we lost him to injury. You can't do anything about that. We had a striker coming in on a DP contract. That deal fell through. Now here we are, like, who's going to take on the weight of scoring goals for us? I have no idea. And yet and still, we're competing at a high level with really, really off-the-radar talent. So I'm excited about the team as usual. I think our head coach is top 2 in the league, and he's probably not number 2. And I know that's saying a lot when you got the head coach of Vancouver, you got the head coach of San Diego, but just what Pascal Janssen has done with this roster that is not his at all, right? He came in with a roster completely picked by another head coach and GM, and he said, it's fine, watch this. And his in-game adjustments, like I'm saying, this LA game, that was a 10, 15-minute adjustment. He was like, yo, this is not working. He's yelling out instructions on the pitch and completely changed the complexion of that game in real time. Like, there's not many people who can do that, and especially not in MLS, right? Other leagues is very tactical, and it's really just style versus style. The style is going to win on the day, and you commit to what you're doing, whether you win or you lose. But this guy is like real time making adjustments that are completely changing how this team is presented. And it is unbelievable. So I'm excited about it, but I really can't tell you what to expect out of this team. We might tank, or we might be in the MLS Cup. It could go either way.
Hey, man, I think that's the beauty of the MLS, right, man?
Yeah.
Early on, man, you got to just kind of see what you get, man. And a phrase we've heard all too familiar here, and hopefully we won't hear it too much more here, is, find a way. Obviously, like you just said, Ross, man, trying to find a way without a striker up there, man, and trying to get the tactics right so you guys can be able to be efficient, man. So man, that's good to hear, man. Like, hey, just like us, man, the expectations here are just, solid, but we just gonna see how this thing out. We got some familiar faces here, and we'll talk about that here in just as well. One more thing, real quick, Rock. Stadium update, man. I know you guys are working on that stadium up there, so you won't be playing on that baby ass pitch anymore. up there in New York and out there in Yankee Stadium, man. Legal. How was that coming along, man? I know we talked about this. I think possibly is it 2027 that we should be able to have a new stadium up there?
Yeah, so we just got an email actually that they're going to do the transition season still at Yankee Stadium and Citi Field, and then they're going to properly open the stadium in 2027 for the new season. So I'm excited about it, man. The progress has been good. I went down to the Experience Center, which is really cool. I mean, if any of you are up here in the next through 2027, let me know. I'll make sure y'all go down to the Experience Center and check it out, man. It's really cool. They have like this big video board that they play, and then you walk through, and it's like a bar lounge area where they have replicas of the seating that's available in the stadium. And you can do your season ticket package picking there and all that. They got graffiti on the wall and all these different stations and experiences. It's super cool. But the big show is in the middle of that room is not a full scale, but a scale model of the stadium. And it's like full glory. And it is beautiful, man. So the first fully electric stadium in MLS. There's also housing, a school, all this other stuff that's being built in that development as well. The company that I work for now is actually a vendor that supplies equipment for that project. So I saw the full plans a long time ago. So yeah, it's exciting. Y'all definitely have to come up when Atlanta plays NYCFC in the new stadium.
It won't be no time soon. How about that, man? It won't be no time soon. We'll tell you that. That's for sure.
Rock, I got to throw a little shade. So I haven't seen the location. So is it actually located in New York, or is it going to be in Jersey, Philly?
Bro, don't do that.
Upstate.
Don't do that. Derico, it is in Queens, New York, directly across the street from Citi Field.
All righty.
New York proper.
New York. It's
New York proper. That's right. All right. We in the borough of Queens. Tell Nas to go to them, man.
Yeah. Now, that's what's up, the flip side of that same coin is it might get kind of crazy over there because in the summer, when you got the U.S. Open, you got Queens Night Market going on, you got the Mets playing, there's a lot that goes on over there. That's going to be interesting to see how they sort those logistics out. But outside of that, man, I'm ready to go. And the cost, because who they charging?
Yeah, man, I come up down Jamaica Ave, man, and holler at y'all folk, man. We come up there and kick it. Like I said, ain't gonna be no time soon, though, because right now, boy, we'll let y'all thaw that out for a minute. And then we'll try to make our way up there, man. Listen, hey, we're gonna talk a little more, man, MLS here. Obviously, let's get into the meat of it, man. We'll talk about Atlanta United here and what happened on this past Saturday. Obviously, not the result that we wanted, but Reg is here, man, to kind of help us dry our eyes a little bit, man, and hopefully tell us there's some hope, man. Look, Atlanta United goes down to Cincinnati FC 2-0, and Tata's return as the head man for the Atlanta United. Reg, man, this was opening. I didn't have any expectations. Kind of felt like rocks, man, and I'll let the Derico and Banks kind of fill in as well as to what they thought of expectations going into this game, man. Really weren't none. Comfortable with Tata coming back. I know this is going to take time. This is not 2017, 2018 anymore. But what could you tell us about, a lot of familiar faces and a lot of new faces with this team, man? And we'll talk about some of the nuts and bolts of the game, man. But your expectations and how you feel with Tata coming back over the helm with Atlanta United and the new additions and the old faces and how we're kind of going to make this work,
Look, I'm gonna give you two perspectives. So, first perspective, after we lost, I was in my feelings. Nobody could talk to me for about 2 hours. I said, we are the Tottenham of MLS. Nice, shiny stadium. Crazy fans. Some questionable stuff happening with the front office. Messing with quality players that can't produce, can't put them together to work it out on the field. I was in my feelings. I was hot. I don't want no Tottenham song being sung about Atlanta United. Y'all know that song. I don't want to hear that. But I slept on it. The next day, I was like, you know what? Tata's doing what he can. They are bringing in players. They've brought in players so far that will fit into his system. It's going to take an adjustment. That entire back line is brand new for the most part, except for like one person. They got a gel. And, I've always been a big fan of the press. New York, y'all had that impressive press for years. And I like seeing that press. I'm a Bournemouth fan, so I like seeing an aggressive, up high press like that. So we look good to them last 10 minutes. So, and then I'm like, oh, here we go again. So I will say this. I think Tata will right the ship. I think you have to have patience when you have a new manager and you have new players and they have to get that chemistry together. So let's give it some patience and give it some time. And in the meantime, let's just keep the players and the manager, encouraged.
Man, absolutely, man. Some costly errors. You expect a little bit of sloppiness starting out, right? You know what I'm saying? Even though these guys got to, get some practice in together, it's still the first kind of competitive match. Got to get the chemistry going, man. I saw some familiar things that I saw with, what Tata likes to do tactically, man. Playing from the back, man, and trying to roll that thing up, man, and trying to get on the front foot, man. But a lot of the opportunities, man, just seem to kind of fizzle out, man. So I'm attributing that probably to some chemistry, man. So hopefully we'll see some of that, in the near future. Defensively, man, that's a lot that we need to talk about and kind of digest, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Derrico, man, I know you were fired up to watch it, man. You shot out a text. I wasn't able to catch it live, man, but I caught the replay of it. Derrico, how did you feel, man? First game with Atlanta United.
Hey, Reggie will tell you, because he and I was kind of chatting during the match. I actually had to talk Reggie off the lid, so he was actually being for real about what he's talking about. He was like, "Oh, you being optimistic?" I said, "Yes." It says it's the first match. It's the first match because as Leo said, I texted him. I said, "Well, they look totally different from last year already." That was like the first half. So they was competing at a high level. The energy was different. They were moving faster. You know what I'm saying? It just looked like a totally different team from what I was watching last year, as far as I guess I'll use the term technical like y'all be using, how they were moving, like the speed was different. The aggression was different. I could see that off the rip. And like Reggie said, and Lord have mercy, we get to the second half of the second half, and here we go. It's like all the gas was just let out of the tank, all the air was let out the balloon, and then it went back to the focus part of being what happened, what just happened. And I mean, it was just quick. But like I said, some of the things I saw, I am going to be patient, even though this is Tata's 7-second stint here. And like Reggie said, I even brought this up to Reggie. It was like, hey, look like all our defenders are new. All of them. He said, yeah, all of them except one. I was like, well, yeah. So that's letting me know that it's going to take some time for these guys to gel. So we as fans, especially Atlanta United fans, got to pump the brakes a little bit and be a little patient, because it's going to take a little time for them to gel. And I know this sounds like things that we've been saying for the last 3 years, but I just feel like the players that we have, I think it can be done. But it's going to take some time.
It will. And listen, it was so odd, man, looking over across the way and seeing a familiar face in Miles Robinson. I was like, damn, man, I sure do miss that cat, man. You know what I'm saying? He was Mr. Dependable on that back line back there for Atlanta United. You just spoke there, you were talking about defense, man. I was like, damn, man, Miles over there doing his thing, man. I can't be mad at him. Man, Banks, I don't know. Hey, man, I know you probably got a chance to check out some replays, got a chance to check out, man, some of the highlights of this game, man. Your expectations, man, of what you thought, opening day MLS, man, as Atlanta goes down 2-0 to Cincinnati.
Actually, I watched the game, Leo. I got a chance to watch it, and like you said, Reg, second half, it was like the air let out the balloon for me. After that corner kick, I turned it off. I said, you know what? We still can't defend it. It's been going on for years now. I give up. It's almost like I called it. I said, if they score right here, we're what are we doing? And sure enough, he scored. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I said this same thing, same song, new dance, whatever the analogy goes. So I mean, I guess, it's early. There's nothing to be upset about, I guess. I guess for me, I just want to see progress. I don't have no expectation for Tata. Of course, this is not the same team that he had the first time. So it's gonna take a good minute. So I guess the name of the game for this year is patience. So what we gotta do, just wait.
Hey man, listen. That's what we got. Still a long season ahead of us, man. So we'll be all right, man. Next game coming up here, I think this weekend against San Jose. If I'm not mistaken, I'll double check that, or somebody can cross check that for me. Rocks, man. I don't know if you got a chance to check out highlights or check out Atlanta United on this past Saturday, man. I know you follow us from afar, obviously, man. Since the inception of this team, man. And Tata, of course, his history in MLS here, man, obviously coming. He was here. This is the second stint, was with Miami. Just breaking it down, man. New faces, old faces. How do you feel about this Atlanta United club, man, and the expectations from your perspective?
The overarching view is, are they going to give Tata the control he had that the first time around? You know what I mean? That whole team was his hands. So that's why I worked, because he was like, if I'm coming here, it's going to go how it's going to go. And I don't want to hear nothing from above me. This is how it's going to go. And it was super successful. I don't know if he has that this time around. Like, yes, they love him. Yes, they want, that old thing back. But sometimes that second go around, it just don't feel the same. It don't hit the same, right? So it's probably awkward for both of them. He knows how successful he can be, and they know how successful he can be. They know how successful they've been and what they want to get back to. And he knows that it might be a little bit different as far as the business of the team. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out in the long term. I think they'll be fine ultimately, though, right? You'll be in the playoffs. You'll be competing. It's just at what level, right? Are you going to be top 5 in the East? I don't know. Depends on who they can bring in on the old schedule, right? And they got to give him the time and resources to get back to where they were. So it's two ways. He has to be at the same level, and they have to be of the same consideration to help him get there. As far as the game, I pulled up. I didn't see everything. I did watch the highlights, and I was like, yo, what the hell happened? But I just pulled up the match summary, and I see here at the 73rd minute, y'all made 2 subs in midfield, and all hell broke loose after that. So I'm curious to know, y'all watching the game, was that the actual turning point? Because that was the 73rd, and then Denke scored at the 80th. Was that the actual change, or was it just they got tired?
They was getting run up in the middle of the field, and they were already getting gassed. And so they brought in Muyumba and this other dude, and they smelled blood because they had to bring in somebody, because for some reason we just lost control of the midfield. So we had to bring in somebody. So then I don't know what happened in the back either, man. Like Banks was saying, man, it took everything in me not to just get up and say I'm done.
But it seemed like the whole match, but they didn't play like it was the first match. Does that make sense? Like it seemed like they were just off. It was like there was no energy. Cincinnati looked like they wanted it. Like they was coming at us with it. I'm like, what? Where is our energy? Where is it? Like, why are we just on the field just going through the motions? And then that's when I was like, well, maybe that's who we are, and then I'm like, and then that's when those 2 goals happen. I'm like, you know what, man? Okay, all right.
And even after, one of their best players, Evander, he goes out. I think they had a game like earlier in the week. He goes out with a hamstring, and you're thinking, okay, well, maybe this will give us some room and some opportunity to do some things, but we just couldn't get it together, man, cohesively. Like you said, the midfield kind of looked a mess early on, and disconjointed. And I felt like, this is probably be a problem. And like Derrico said, we traditionally, man, have always had issues on set pieces and trying to get, people in place when it comes to that, man. And that stuff I think it can be cleaned up. Obviously, it's still early, but it's been one of our things, man. And Banks is always like, if I'm at the game, man, Banks would damn near want to punch me and be like, why can't we get this together on these set pieces? And it's the truth, man. It's been one of the things that we've had challenges with
But
over
it's
the
been
course of this.
years. Like, why are we still talking about this? Like, why are
Yeah,
we still
man.
talking about set pieces? This is going on for years now, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, knowing that this is a possibility this game is going to end on this set piece. Like, I'm sick of having that mindset. I'm just tired of it, dude. We've been talking about it for season in and season out. It's old now. It's very old.
Yeah,
Hey, can I ask
man.
Reggie this question? Hey, Reggie, do you think it has anything to do with the fact that it seems like we don't get tall enough players sometimes? It seems like the players that we get are on
Little
the
dude,
short end.
we had some time with
look, Miles was on the other side. He was not tall dude. Him gone. You know, Miles is gone. We don't have a lot of tall players. You're right.
And I was just
they
looking, I
need to
was
get
like,
some height on that back line, man.
yeah, because I was looking at, I think it was 99 for the squad. I think it was who was playing Cincinnati, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at 99, how he was just towering over 95% of our team. I was like, what's the problem? It seems like I'm seeing more and more of that in other squads, but it just seems like we keep bringing these little fast guys that look like me when I was playing football back in school when I was 135 pounds. Yes, I was 135 pounds. Yes, it looks like that to me.
Technically, though, Reggie, and I'm gonna pass this over to you and get a little bit of perspective from Rox as well, man. Before we move on, technically, man, what Tata traditionally likes to do, I don't know if the mold of players that Derek Cole talks about fits well with what he wants to do tactically. I mean, I guess you could find some athletic guys that you could put in the back that can actually move and press forward, but you know, Tata is a free flowing forward pressing game. I mean, a lot of times you have teams that play well on the backside. They have those big physical players, and they really like to be defensive like that. And that's not really how we were built, Reggie. If you want to, you know, I think tactically we were built more for speed as opposed to being like a tank. You know, a Ferrari versus a tank. If that's a correct analogy, Reggie.
Yeah, you hit it. You hit it right on the head. We're a counter pressing team. You know, so we like to hit you on the counter. You know, get Armor on just bombing down the middle like he likes to do. And then it used to be feed Joseph. Now he needs to feed Latte Latte, and he's the kind of player you got to feed him. You know, he ain't messy. He's not going to just go around like 8 or 9 players and then score. You got to feed him. And so I think he's brought in a lot of players. I'm looking at they're making all these. They're not making really formal announcements. I think I'm saying this to you, Derek, how they're not making no real big announcements. They just say you just turn, look at your phone. They sign this dude. No video, no special. Okay, we signed this dude, and they sign this dude. They sign this dude. So he's starting to build the squad the way he wants it, but it's really about just getting that chemistry because it's just going to take some time. So I think by middle of the season, I think they'll be doing a lot better because right now he's just trying to iron out some things. We got rid of some players, you know, some players I was like, why is he going? But then I got it. I'm like, oh, I get it. So it'll take some time, but that counter pressing, fast moving, keeping possession of the ball. I saw that. Like Banks was saying in Jericho, the first half, I was like, I haven't seen us play this fast in a long time. 2-touch passing. When we start doing that again, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. I'm like, oh, so we moving the ball now. So that looked good, but it'll come.
Yeah, and give it over to Rox here before we move on, man. Talking about personnel and tactics. You said something about giving Tata, full autonomy to build his roster. We forget in 2017 when this roster was built, man, it was the South American pipeline, man. It was guys that he was very familiar with coming from Argentina. We brought a young Miguel in from Paraguay. He was very familiar with those guys and that style of play. And I think it's just going to be, a matter of time for we can kind of build the roster in that way and to be able to play that counter-attacking style, like Reggie said, in that front foot forward style, because that was where we were most successful, man. You get out early, man, jump 2-3 goals on people. It's kind of hard, now you're front footing them, you're outpaced, And that's the style of football that Tata was known for when he was here the first time, right, man? So just giving Tata that autonomy to build his roster out, right, Ross?
Yeah, man, he's gotta get the players that he really, really wants, especially that front two. I don't know if the latte la thing is gonna work for him, right? If even when you think about when he was in Miami, look at the front in Miami. It's all Latin players, right? So this relationship is different for the both of them probably. And he has one vision in his mind that's not already on the field. He doesn't have the resources and the roster dynamics and mechanics to change everything right now as he would if he was overseas somewhere because I need this right now, make it come here in a month and work like that in MLS. So he's gotta adjust and really show like I'm not just the guy that can do it in paradise. I can do it.
Yeah, obviously, man, we'll keep looking at it and see it how season progresses. What we could do both. Obviously, Rocks. I'm gonna be following NYCFC from afar and see how that thing materializes up there as well, man. So look, a couple of other notable games. Want to get you guys' perspective before we close this thing on out. And then we'll kind of look moving forward here as we go on. So a couple of other games as noted, of course, the big team that's here, obviously that everybody takes, that's watching. You don't even have to say Inter Miami, you just say Messi and them. That's what that's what everybody say. Messi and them down there in South Florida, man. They actually got beat by LAFC 3-0, man. I didn't get a chance to watch the highlights of that game, but I was like, wait a minute, hold on, what's going on? Maybe somebody could give me some insight into that. Also, we had San Diego, man, one of the newer teams that just joined MLS, man. They actually crushed Montreal 5-0. I saw that highlight and I was like, whoa, man. Rocks, man, your perspective on the King of the Hill, Messi and them down there in Miami, getting belt to ash by by LAFC out there this weekend.
No one's scared of them anymore, right? LAFC ain't been scared of nobody anyway, but they have also, had some minor changes over the last 2-3 seasons that are now coming to fruition. And this was their moment to say, look, 2026, we own your ass. We are really like that. Check for us. And what better team to do it against than the defending champs, right? So that was a bad look for Miami. They didn't play poorly. Like I saw the highlights. I didn't see the whole game, but the highlights, Messi had some moments. He just, inch here, inch there, didn't quite pan out the way. They had some good opportunities. It could have been a draw game at 2-2, but that's not how it happened. LAFC is, man, what a beautiful machine they have going over there. I really like their entire ethos, everything that they're doing, business-wise, sporting-wise, culturally-wise, it's all really, really nice. And I enjoy seeing that. Like we need those types of beacons in the league. Atlanta's one, when y'all came in, y'all were this is how it's supposed to go. And LA followed suit like, oh, okay, bet, watch this. You know what I mean? So now they got the torch and they running with it, showing something else. It's on these other teams. New York City got to do the same shit. Like we got to step it up and really get in the conversation. Now San Diego's in the mix and they like, all right, that's cool. Watch this. You know what I mean? So the higher the competition gets, the better it is for everyone involved. I love seeing it, but I'm also terrified at how rapidly everything is changing because you really don't know what's going to happen, especially in the East. Like it's nasty in the East right now. It's nasty over here.
Shuffle the deck in the East, man, for real, man. That's how it's gonna be, man. Reg, man, before we close this thing out, man, the other game I was just talking about, Rocks just alluded to it, man. San Diego into the league, man. They put a belt to butt to Montreal, man. Like Rock said, man, everything is changing, the landscape of it, man. And we'll get some more perspective later on, Rocks. Really wanted to talk maybe culturally about, to tell the two teams in LA with the Galaxy and LAFC and how they do things out there. But before we close it out, Reg, man, your perspective on that San Diego Montreal game 5-0. I don't know if you got a chance to see the highlights, but just some perspective on that.
Dude, you know what? That's something that a lot of people in Europe, a lot of the Euro snobs and those who don't really watch MLS, they like to say it's a retirement league, it's slow, nobody cares about MLS. But then their players come over here and get smacked up, or they go, and then they come over here and realize, oh, this is not what I expected. This is very competitive. And Rox was just saying it. He was like, the East is nasty. You saw LA doing the thing now. Now you got, man, San Diego. I was so hoping. I'm like, man, if they win the championship, they first time I'm gonna be upset. Like, don't mess with us over here. No, we did it our second season, So I'm like, okay, but it's very competitive, and that score, man. I'm looking at those highlights. I'm like, if you don't know what you're looking at, you are thinking, okay, what league is this? Who's this? Who's this playing? It's getting like that.
Hey man, it's gonna be the real deal, man. Looking forward to it, man. Exciting season. Listen, fellas, definitely appreciate Rox, Reggie, you guys coming out, man, to do some soccer talk, MLS talk, man. Derico, Banks, and Reg, man. Look, March 7th, home opener, man. It's going down for real, man. We got it. Real Salt Lake, if I'm not mistaken, that's a 7:30 kick, man. Shout out Footy Mob, man. I don't know, Rox, you never know, man. He might just pop up on us. I don't know, man. He might get tired of that cold and pop up on us. You never know.
I might. Man, I love Atlanta. You never know.
Yo, man, he might pop up and fall out. And look at Derico, man. We definitely got to talk to Rox off the air, man, because this brother is got a collection too, man. He really big into what we into, man. So we definitely got to get with him. And if he get down here, man, we got to definitely serve him up, right?
What is he into?
Hey man, he into that brown water scene, brother. So
you know, like you scared to say it.
Nah, I ain't scared to say it. The brown water scene, man.
We had an advertising royalty company, but so I'm just making sure.
Nah, man. Yeah, so we definitely, man, if we get through here, man, we definitely have to look into trying to get up there too after the thaw up there in New York, man, and see what it's all about, man. It's been a while, man, since I done hollered at my family in New York, man. So definitely got to look into that as well, man. Banks, you ready for this home opener, brother? You gonna try to fall through with us? What's up?
I'm definitely gonna try to get up there, Leo. I know I had some prior engagements with the fam, but I'm gonna see if I can shuffle some things around and get on up there.
Absolutely, man. So we look forward to it, man. Listen, man, since y'all the guests, man, Rox, let everybody know where they can find you at, man, and they can holler at you, man, for coming through. Rox, no, I'm saying let everybody know where they can find you.
Me
brother.
first. Oh, I thought
yeah, bro.
Yeah, I'm here, man. We on Instagram at Chop Soccer Pod. I'm on Instagram at Rox Fontaine. I just be out the way, man.
That's what's up, man. Chilling up there, literally chilling up there in New York, man. As the thaw, waiting for the thaw up there, man. Reg, man, let everybody know what you got going on, man, and let everybody know where they can find you. Besides at that Mercedes Benz.
Oh yeah. Well, look, you can find me on IG and Threads, McReg, MCREG69. First and last name. If on Facebook, ain't got no alias. And then on that old Twitter account is Reg3641.
That's what's up, man. Banks. Man, look, Banks got all his stuff. Y'all will be glad to know Banks got all his stuff sorted out, man. He is in the 2026 with all them socials, man. I don't know what he did or who he hollered at, man, but he got everything together. Banks, let him know.
Yeah, about that. Yeah, I'm back at Antoine Jarrell Banks on Facebook. I don't know what happened to my Instagram. Leo's trying to speak for me. Ladies and gentlemen, I am working on that. Just stay tuned. Not a word, Derico. Not a word.
Hey man, we're gonna get together, man. We're gonna get together. We still working on that assistant for you, man. But you got to be open to the help, brother. You got to be open and receptive to the help.
I don't need help. I don't need help.
That's what they always say. Derico, man.
Thanks, you sound old, man. Don't stop putting your finger up on the thing trying to match that button stuff. You sound
Derico,
older than
man.
me,
Let
man.
everybody know. Let everybody know where they can find you, man.
Hey, you can reach me on the Facebook at Stacy D Derico. You can reach me on Snapchat at DJ K-Ro6. You can meet me on IG, and I just joined Threads because I didn't know they was one and the same, so I thought it was separate. So you can catch me on them two at Derico_Virgo, and that's that. I'm not on other things. I dropped them, but that's where you can get me at.
It's
and
of course,
right down here in the country.
Yeah, man, for real. That boy really be in the country too, for real. So, man, listen, man, y'all can catch us
Oh, South
ATL 3.
Carolina.
Y'all can catch us, man, on all your social media platforms, ATL 3 Style, man. Catch us there, ATL the number 3 in Style. You can hit me up also as well, man. I'm still over there on X. I don't know. I might shut that thing down in a minute, man, but you can holler at me over there as well at Southern Set with 2 T's, man. We doing it Bruiser the Butcher style over there. What's up there, Cole?
Hey, I want to shout out, since it's Black History Month, I just want to go ahead and shout out this Black-owned company right here, Actively Black. And let me tell y'all something. The work is quality. Don't be bitching and moaning about how much it costs. Support us, because if it was Gucci, Prada, or anything else, you wouldn't worry about the price tag on it. Y'all make sure y'all support our peoples, Actively Black.
Hey, man, that's what's up. Actively Black, man. Check it out, man. Listen, fellas, man, we appreciate it, man. We'll be back with another edition. Got a lot of ATL stuff to drop on the next edition of the podcast, man, as we got a lot of news to come down today that we're going to have to chop it up, fellas, and talk about, man, on the next go-round. Definitely a shout-out to Rox and Reg for falling through, man, to give us some soccer talk, as always, man. We love y'all, man, and y'all are welcome to chop it up with us anytime, man, on the ATL 3 Style Podcast. It's been another one. We're going to be out.